David looked at his wife with widening eyes, wondering how long she had to live. He licked sweat from his upper lip, tried to calm his breathing enough so he could listen. You have to go. Now. A sob racked Cheryl's chest, her shoulders drawing in, her body looking like it was collapsing in on itself.
I have to tell you what I've done. It wasn't my fault. I don't even have any memory of it, but I did it. And if I don't do something soon, I'll do it again. First, I need to explain. I should start, I suppose, with a visit to the park with my mother. So I want to talk to you about dread, because the dread that you build in this is absolutely insane. The dread and the looming.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
It's crazy. I mean, I'm one of those when I watch horror movies, I like shriek at the characters, but I don't really do that when I'm reading horror, right? I mean, it doesn't translate the same way, but I mean, I wanted to scream at Cheryl, like, Cheryl, move your ass, get out. What are you doing? Stop it. And it was just a lot. And, you know, when you're writing, there's the stuff that you plan to do, and there's the stuff that just comes out, and it's a beautiful, happy coincidence. Did you go into this saying, I'm going to make this full of dread, or was that just one of those beautiful outcomes of telling the story?
I don't know if I consciously thought I want there to be dread, but I'm a big fan of immersion in it. I don't want to like recite something like a news story. You know, I want, because the premise of the story is very simple. And if I were to just put it out factually, it would take about a paragraph and a half, and then we'd all move on with our lives. And but I just wanted there to be feeling to it. I wanted the reader to interact and understand that this wasn't just a one-off, and that it wasn't just somebody that, you know, he didn't care about, or that there wasn't much risk here. I wanted the reader to feel the stakes here, and, you know, realize too, because I'm a big fan, you know, I love your opening line, and I'm a big fan of feeling like you need to, you know, you need to hook people, and you need to get your pacing on, particular short stories, which you also did beautifully, by the way. So I feel like that's one of those things that I really just wanted to, like, you know, keep it going and make it clear that something is happening, something is building. Originally, I had it planned for like a little bit of a different direction. And then when I started writing it, I was like, no, this works as a married couple story, as a romantic love. I write a lot about parent-child relationships, you know, and I was like, yeah, let's take it a little bit different, you know, this time. So
I love short stories that give you just what you need, but leave you wanting more. And this achieves that brilliantly.
Thank you.
You told me this was a piece of a novella or a novel, like, oh, of course.
I was curious whether, like, when you write, or in particular, maybe when you write this story, where do you start? Is it an opening? Do you have it like planned out, or was there more of a feeling you wanted to capture here? Or was there a memory that you wanted to kind of, you know, utilize in a story like this?
I started from the beginning and just wrote. It wasn't, and I can jump around. I like to jump around. I didn't with this one. And it was purely from the idea. Have you read Liz Gilbert's Big Magic?
I have not.
The idea came completely from that.
Okay.
She talks in there, and this is not a horror book. This is about a book about inspiration. She talks about believing that there are ideas all around us, and they're just looking for a conduit. They're just looking for an author and a writer and a storyteller to share them. And it's like, well, what if that got dark?
Yeah.
That is all that came from.
I'm so glad you asked the question, what if it got dark? Because yes, no, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, okay, no, I can see that, definitely. So, you know, with horror, I feel like the most effective horror feeds on empathy. Because if we don't care, you know, then we don't feel that fear, we don't feel that, you know, the loss or the worry about anybody. And the way that you open this, you know, that with the memory of her mother, I could see like every second of it. So I was curious whether, is that based on a real memory? Is it sort of expanded on, or was it something you'd seen?
No, to all of the above. I've never gone
Really?
butterfly catching. I don't know that I've ever frolicked in a park with my mom. I've never seen her hold a net. No, that just made it up. I mean, the actions of it are made up, but I suppose, you know, every little kid thinks their mother's the most beautiful person in the world. And so
Yeah.
it was more trying to capture that feeling than it was sharing something that had happened. there's different types of writing, right? There's the stuff that's torturous and you're just sitting down because you have to do it and it's a slog
Yes.
and it's not fun, but it gets the job done. And then there's the
Yeah.
stuff where you just black out for 2 hours and come to and say, where am I? What has happened? And that's why you do it, right? I mean, that's
That's the
so much
magic.
fun. That's the magic.
Yeah.
And it's the best part of doing what we do. And I wanted the unnamed writer in this, to have that. I wanted her life to be full of nothing but that gorgeous, beautiful feeling. And so when it turns on its head, it is extra what has just happened to me.